Welcome to the Education Exchange. I'm your host, Jeremy Calles, Superintendent here at the Tolleson Union High School District. And today we're going to talk about the Distance Learning Academy. And to tee off this conversation, I have our proud principal. Nicole, can you introduce yourself to the audience?
Yeah, so I'm Nicole Baumgart. I've been in the district for about 15 years now. This is my third year at Distance Learning Academy, and things have been going well there at Distance Learning Academy, and I'm just excited to be here.
All right, so let's tell everybody about Distance Learning Academy, DLA. First, how about giving our listeners an overview of what to expect with Distance Learning Academy?
Definitely. So, distance learning is a program. It's an offshoot of all of our campuses. And so, students have the opportunity to still be linked to their home site. So, whether they're a Tolleson Wolverine or a La Jolla Lobo, for whatever reason, they just need to attend online. They need a more flexible schedule. They can attend with us. It gives them a lot more flexibility in the day. So, our classes are asynchronous as long as students log in by 12 o'clock at night and complete a daily attendance check. They're counted present, and then all of their assignments are available online when it works for them. So many students have work, they have family commitments, medical needs that just don't allow them to attend in person following the traditional schedule. So doing it this way allows them to still have the same content, same curriculum. We have our certified teachers here that are producing the videos available for the students. It really gives them that opportunity to both be connected to their campus, but then have the flexibility to do their assignments in a way that works for them. We allow students to work ahead if they want to graduate early, so it gives them an opportunity to move faster. And some students actually need a little bit more time to complete their courses. So we have a lot of flexibility with our schedule. So that's what it looks like today.
Now you're competing with a lot of online high schools throughout Arizona, especially since the pandemic. Online going to school online has become more common now. What would you say is the thing that separates DLA from the other online high school providers?
Yeah, I think that there's very few online schools that give out a free laptop. So our students, while they're enrolled with us, have a free laptop to do all of their coursework. They also have the ability to participate in sports, clubs at any of our campuses. So they still have that opportunity to be connected, to go to homecoming, to go to prom, and then attend one of the large graduation ceremonies that we do offer here at State Farm Stadium. So those are some of the main features, as well as just very strong curriculum. Our district has invested a lot in curriculum, and we're following the exact same curriculum that they are at the campuses. And so really solid research-based curriculum, and those are some of the things that I think really sets our school apart.
Now that's an interesting blend that they would do their regular school day through an online environment, but then still participate in extracurricular activities. Do you see that? Do you see that happening often with your students that they'll maybe be still be on the football team of their neighborhood school while they're attending their classes with you over in DLA?
I think it's for us, it's a growing number of students that do that from our own district site, but I don't think that that's something statewide that happens. Another thing that's really unique about our campus is that we offer CTE classes online, and there's only two schools that we know of in the entire state that allow students to do CTE classes. So we have coding, marketing, business ops. So some of the CTE classes that make sense to do online, they're able to do that with us and attend all of the competitions, all of the state activities. So that's really a great opportunity for students that, for whatever reason, they need to be at home more often than not. They still don't lose out on those opportunities. So,
So that's a great highlight, those
hmm
CTE
hmm
programs. What else, what other kind of courses do you believe you offer that stand out that they're not going to get with every online provider?
yeah. So we have electives. We have Spanish 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So all the way up to almost the highest level of Spanish that you can get. We offer art classes. Our students get an actual art portfolio that they can pick up at their site with real art supplies. So they're able to still do the same type of art that you would in a regular classroom, even though they're at home. I'm trying to think of some of our other electives. We have PE, we have psychology, sociology. So just a wide range of different opportunities that our students have. Creative writing, speech, all of those types of things. So.
Now, there's a lot of things that could make a student or a parent want their student to go be in an online environment instead of an in-person environment. But how do you know if it's really right for them? What kind of intake process do you have to talk with the student about their reasons for why they're coming to an online environment to make sure that the student is actually making a decision that is right for them, that they're going to actually be successful in that
Mhm.
online environment?
Yeah. So, one great thing for our students, if they need to transfer from a home site to in person, it's a pretty simple process. But we have a great partnership with all of our sites. So, the in person counselor will sit down and meet with them before they come over and talk with them and their parents, explain the program, talk about if this is really the right fit for you. I think. Um, there's kind of a misconception that online is easier, but if you've ever taken an online course anywhere, it is more difficult than you would think. So I think needing to have self discipline, needing to be able to stick to a schedule for yourself and, stay disciplined to actually complete that. So those are the types of students that do best if they have that, consistent time that they're going to log in, that they're going to do their work, they tend to do better. If you're a student that needs the teacher to, sit with you one on one all the time, help get you back on track. If you maybe get distracted with your friends, talking, this may not be the best fit for you. If you're someone that needs a lot of redirection, I wouldn't advise that student. So we do try to talk through that with our orientation and things like that with students before they get to us, so that um, they don't decide that this isn't the best fit for them.
Now, sometimes when it's not the right fit, maybe they're not recognizing that at home as
Mhm.
quickly as you can see that, with your staff. How do you have those conversations? How do you make the determination on when it's the appropriate time to reach out and say, look, we realize, you came to online, you had a certain expectation. It doesn't look like everything's going as well. How do you redirect them and talk to them about possibly making the transition back to being in
Yeah, so we
person?
really try to closely monitor a student for the first 3 weeks that they're with us to really see, so we do have optional live sessions for students to come in person, and we recommend as a new student that you show up to those optional live sessions to kind of get, the flow of how the class works. And if students are not completing their daily discussion post, attendance check, not coming into those live sessions at first, that's kind of like our first checkpoint of like, hey, we need to check in with the students, see if they're doing okay. We also, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, do intervention time for any students that we can see are falling behind, invite them into a team session, meet with them. And if at that point we also notice, hey, things are still not going well there, then maybe that third week is when we would say, hey, we really need to consider moving back to in person. We try not to go longer than 3 weeks before we're notifying and expressing, like, hey, you may want to consider moving back to in person just so you have, um, you know, more accountability, more check ins, because at home can give you more flexibility and more freedom. That's great for some students, that's not great for other students.
Now, on the other end of that spectrum, you'll have some students who are just absolutely thriving in an online environment. It's allowing them to maximize, their day, their schedule, and their personal lives, while at the same time giving them an educational
Mhm.
environment that's just right for them.
Mhm.
But every now and then, you do need to actually physically see the student, right? So,
Mhm.
like state standardized tests,
Mhm.
testing days. What are some of those days where it's like they are actually going to have to come in person?
Yes. So for our in-person testing for all of our state testing, so that includes ACT, pre-ACT, and then the ACT Aspire, which is all coming up really soon. Students do test at their home site, and that is required. So they do need to attend at their home site. So we send out the logistical details, individual messages to all the students, letting them know that, hey, you actually have to come in person for these tests. It's limited. It's probably um, two two to three times a semester that they would absolutely have to come in person. Also, things like Azella testing, they have to come in person for those tests as well.
And for the students that you have right now, do you have any that are coming from outside the Tolleson Union boundary? Like how
Yeah,
far away is your reach right now with students
yeah,
coming to find
hmm
DLA and join a part of DLA from
yeah.
outside our normal boundary?
Yeah, so we're always growing and always changing, so we're always looking at that as well. I know right now we have a student from Prescott. We've had students in Tucson. Um, so it's anywhere in the state of Arizona, a student can attend Distance Learning Academy. So I don't know that there's further than Tucson or Prescott. I would have to keep checking, but that's still,
I think
yeah.
those are some pretty good distances right there
Yeah.
to cover. Probably pulling further than any
hmm
of our traditional campuses are
Yeah.
pulling right now for getting that open enrollment student.
Definitely.
So how do you get your name out there? How do you let people know that, hey, DLA is here, DLA exists, DLA could be an option for you?
Yeah, definitely. I'm working with our PR team, obviously, to help us get the word out. We just got a new website up and running, so that's helping us as well. But I think the biggest opportunity is just partnering with our home sites. We do so much with our counselors, guidance staff. We work in conjunction with them, with our front office staff at all of the sites, with our assistant principals, letting them know because they're seeing some students, whether it's, at sporting events or just in the office, kind of letting them know if something's not, if they're needing to change or they're, having to move, maybe having to move to Tucson, but still wanting to graduate with us. Those are good opportunities to, stick with Tolleson when you've been here for a long time. So those are some of the ways that we're getting our name out there.
Now, being in an online environment,
Mhm.
I know you have some of your own unique challenges. Um, let's talk about one, school spirit. When the other comprehensive campuses, they can have these assemblies and pep rallies and everything else. What are some ideas that you and your team come up with on how do you get the students to take pride in being a part of DLA?
Yeah, that's something that we're consistently working on. I think that we've had a couple of different ideas with clubs and different organizations that we can kind of get going just straight at Distance Learning Academy. Um, we have had some ideas for lunch bunch groups where students can come in and virtually hang out and just kind of eat lunch together with other people that you may not know, just a way to get connected. But that's definitely something that our leadership team continues to work on and getting kids, to really connect to being online when so much of it happens in the partnership with their home school. A lot of times students are really wanting to connect to that home school, um, maybe as opposed to connecting to the online world.
Now, if I could slide you the
Mm-hmm.
magic wand,
Mm-hmm.
and there was anything you could do for
Mm-hmm.
the future of DLA, for
Mm-hmm.
current DLA students, for the growth of DLA,
Mm-hmm.
what are some of those things? What's
Yeah.
what's the next chapter? What's
Um,
How does this story continue of how you'd like to grow
Yeah.
DLA?
Yeah. So we're always trying to grow and evolve. And I think the main thing in our vision statement, we worked on our vision statement this year, is just the idea of personalized learning. And I think that takes open mindedness from all. I think education is changing so quickly. And I think, especially for the online world, because we can maybe move faster in that way, is just thinking differently about timelines, schedules, logistics, and personalizing a path for each individual student. We have so many resources available now with AI and different things like that, where maybe in the past that was a really big challenge, but I think today we have the resources to help students get through high school faster or help move them into, we talked today about offering more advanced track, more dual enrollment for our online students as well. So those are some of the next steps that we really want to push for to make sure that all students get the same opportunity, whether they're in person or online. And as we continue to grow in enrollment, I think some of those things will be possible sooner rather than later. So those are some of the things that we're pushing here and hoping for in the near future.
So if you got that parent or that student that's sitting out there listening right now, they're on the fence, they don't know if online is the right environment for them. What are some final thoughts, suggestions you can throw their way to help them
Yeah.
make that decision?
I think before making the jump, definitely educate yourself. Talk to the counselor, whether it's at a home site or with us. Give us a call and we can kind of walk you through what that would look like for your specific student. That's another thing we're finding with the personalization is that every student is different and their needs are different. So making sure for your specific student that this is a good fit. Our website does have videos, YouTube videos that kind of walk you through what does the day look like, what are the classes that we offer. Um, I think that it's a challenging time to transfer for anyone in the middle of the semester. I highly recommend starting at the beginning of a semester. But if the change is needed, definitely, let's have a talk with you, either with our counselor, and give it a try, even for 3 weeks, because we can quickly move you back if it's not a good fit, if that's something that's needed. We also do have summer school coming up. And our summer school, you're able to take one class with us each session, so two classes, and that's a great way to test it out and say, is this a good fit for me or isn't, in kind of a low stakes environment. So I would definitely say consider trying summer school if you're thinking about this for next year.
All right. Well, that's some great information,
Yeah.
some great tips.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate you coming on the show to be able to enlighten our parents and empower our students here on the Education Exchange. And we appreciate our listeners for tuning in once again. We're looking forward to seeing you again next week.
All right, thank you so much.
And that's the end of our show. Thank you for listening. If you have questions, want more information, or would like to be a guest on the Education Exchange, please send us an email at podcast@tuhsd.org. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give us a like, and tune in next week to the Education Exchange. You can catch all episodes on your favorite streaming devices or directly at www.tuhsd.org/podcast.